Okay, so Barbara Tucker,
Yes.
it is an absolute honor to have you on my very first interview that will be going out onto my YouTube channel. So super excited and yeah, really grateful to have you on the call today. How are you going? How are you today?
Nikki, I am feeling wonderful. I'm honored to be here, to be a part of this wonderful event. I've been doing some things, other Zooms and meetings, and it's interesting because it's just not one thing for us. Sometimes you're doing your church situations, you're present there, participating where you get into maybe minister and encourage people online, and then you're working on your business, my record label, B-Star Music Group, and then I'm writing, and then I'm designing things, and then I'm just here, on the phone, on the computer, and it's 7 p.m. here, Atlanta, Georgia time, and I'm well.
Excellent,
I'm okay.
excellent. Sounds like you've got lots going on, which is great.
Yeah,
Really good
that's
to
what
hear.
I do.
So yeah, before we kind of get into your stuff, I just wanted to give you a little bit of insight about me and Barbara Tucker because I've been listening to your music for such a long time. Like I think, the very first track of yours that I heard was Beautiful People, and I think that's
Okay.
like 1994.
Well, it's interesting because we recorded in '93.
Right. Okay. Yeah,
I
cool.
always go from that perspective,
Yeah.
and I don't know when people get it per se, but around '93.
Yeah, cool. So yeah, I mean, that's been one of my favorite tracks for a very long time, and I was actually doing a remix of it a couple of years ago, just to like play in my DJ sets and
Yes.
stuff. And I was working with a guy you might know him actually, Paul Brandoli. So he writes top lines and works with vocalists here in Sydney.
Okay.
And he was doing some stuff with me, and we were just listening to things that I'd been working on. And he picked this track to do a different top line to. So the remix that I'd originally done to play in my set has now turned into something totally different, and will
Don't you
be
love that though?
yeah, and that'll be coming out hopefully in the next sort of couple of months. So it's taken a while to get there, but yeah, that was the inspiration from
Okay.
my musical element of it, which is pretty cool. So yeah, like before we get right into it, let me know about something that's made you smile today.
And there was something that did make me smile. I was on Facebook, and it was a picture from maybe the '70s, maybe late '70s, and it was the African American community of young people playing hopscotch and double dutch, and everyone looking very modestly dressed. The guys, the pants was at their waist. The young girls were looking young. I'm thinking it's early '80s, maybe, but they looked happy. They didn't look stressed. It's because over here it's supposedly Black History Month, so
Oh,
different
yeah.
videos have been coming across your posts and stuff. But they look happy. They didn't look stressed. They didn't look like, what are you wearing? What are you doing? They were
Yeah,
young people looking like young people
yeah.
and having fun.
Oh, well,
That
that's
that that made my heart. I posted it. I shared it on my
oh,
page.
okay, cool. I'll have a
This
look.
makes my heart smile.
Excellent. Yeah. No, I love that era. I think everybody was just doing their own thing. Like it was before all the social media, um, and everybody was just focused on their own lives rather than
Yes,
everybody
and just
else's.
togetherness, just laughing, enjoying each other.
Yeah, no, that's lovely. Thank you for sharing that. Cool. Okay, well, let's get into learning a bit more about you and some of the stuff you've been doing. I think it's
What
like
made you smile today?
oh, what made me smile? Well, this, like having Barbara Tucker here on my video screen has made me smile. My daughter made me smile this morning because I did a little test run of the Zoom to make sure everything was working. And I said, "Oh, can you jump on so I could record you?" And she was still in bed. So I said, oh, I think the viewers will want to know why you're not doing your schoolwork at the table. And she went, well, because I'm on here with you. So that made me
I
smile.
love it.
She's very sassy, very sassy. Um, so yeah, like 40 years, I believe, in the music
40. And my
business.
first
Yeah.
recording, Nikki, was in December 1985, and that was Set It Off. It was Harlequin 4
Oh yeah.
featuring Paul Tucker.
Cool. Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
what a track and what a great sort of career you've had spanning, 4 decades. What kind of first drew you to music? Like, what was it that planted that fire?
I believe it's in the blood from ancestral days of day one. Because you can only be the DNA of your ancestors, and I believe that music was definitely a part of my ancestry. My father also is a singer. He is right now the sole survivor of a group, an a cappella group called the Persuasions.
Oh,
My mother, oh, yes, they're still around. You can always look them up.
yeah.
You'll see him, and his last name is Washington. And don't ask me about that, but that is my daddy. We communicate very well. My mom used to sing with her sisters, so she grew up singing also.
Wow.
But it's interesting. There wasn't a lot of music in my house. Because people think, oh, your mother must have been playing Betty Wright. She must have been playing this one and that one. And I said, actually, there was really no music in the house. Even though I love music, we watch musical shows on Saturday. When you're young, music, you're introduced to it in school, primary school.
Yeah.
Kids are like playing songs, or you're listening to songs, or you're singing songs. And then, of course, you're in church singing with your cousins, singing with your grandmother, because my grandmother was the musician, later on the pastor, as my grandfather was the pastor of the church. So there's music in you, and it's around you. As you're growing up into your years and your age, there's music that is drawn to you.
Yeah, yeah. Oh, that's cool, lovely. And looking back, did you ever kind of imagine that you'd have such an impact on house music in particular?
Never, never, never. And that's in my book, that it's Queen of House Music, comma, how did I get here?
Yeah, yeah,
And never wanted to sing.
yeah.
Thought that this is what we all do growing up. You're in your house, and you and your sister, your brother, cousin, you're singing. Everybody thought there was the Jackson Five. There was enough of us relatives, kids around, that we could do what we're doing.
Yeah.
I wanted to be a stewardess, as they called it back then, not a flight attendant. They call it, remember, stewardess?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Stewardess, or a gym teacher.
Right, okay.
In the 7th grade, I used to watch the gym teacher, and I'm like, wow, she gets to wear shorts all the time and sneakers, and she gets paid in the summer and doesn't have to go to work. I want to do that. I want to be a gym teacher.
Yeah,
Or when back in the day, there was an airline called National.
Okay.
And they used to have songs. Their commercial was songs, and the stewardess would sing the songs, even if they weren't the real stewardess actresses. And they would, like, the song was "I'm National, Fly Me in the Big Blue Sky. I'm national, fly me." So then the stewardess, I'm Sally, fly me in the big blue sky. So they would say their names, and I was like, "I'm Barbara, fly." I was like, I want to do that.
Yeah.
So that was my two choices what to do as a child.
Yeah, yeah.
But I think with the singing, because as I said, it's something that you naturally do.
Yeah.
And before you are in your mother's womb, you have assignments here in this earth. And I believe mine was to be in the creative force as an artist.
Absolutely. Well, I'm sure we're all very grateful that you are definitely adding value to our lives in the music space and definitely in house music. And what was the moment when you kind of realized that you'd made it, and particularly in the house scene? Like, was there a defining moment, or did it just kind of?
I still don't know, right? You know what I mean? Because you're just here. Like I just again grew up being a part of things. Oh, Barbara can sing, or you're in high school. Oh, let's put on a play because you say, yeah, I could sing and I could dance, and taking after school dance classes and doing productions to get out of school, but not thinking this is what I want to be or do.
Yeah.
You see, next thing I know, I'm doing videos or I'm choreographing because I danced also and I choreographed. So I'm just doing things in the moment. That is, I don't know, maybe that's a Pisces thing. You're not thinking about so much what I'm going to do in the long run, but right now in this moment, oh, can you come over because we're getting ready to do this, or musical or plays, or your mother's saying, I don't want you on the street, so I'm going to send you to theater, after school theater program. And I went to the Billie Holiday Theater in Brooklyn on Fulton Street. And next thing I've done 9 off-Broadway plays. A lot of people don't know I was, actress.
Oh, okay.
Doing some commercials, some like how do you say, some independent films, and doing voiceovers and things like that. And so I was just showing up in spaces, might have had friends who done the same thing.
Yeah.
And we're just showing up and getting gigs, again, not thinking that this is what I want to do long term. Like even the acting, I never looked at myself as I want to do a movie. I don't know. I had so much of a free spirit. I didn't know I wanted to be in that world, or even in the house world. One minute I'm in a dance troupe, and David Morales is DJing at the Ozone Layer in Brooklyn, and this is like maybe 84.
Yeah.
But I was in the dance troupe in that same year, 84. But then someone saw me at one of his parties dancing. Boom, pa. I wasn't a speaker dancer, but I was a dancer who got noticed. So he was doing promotional strafe in 1984, and he saw me dancing, and then he invited me to be a part of this group, the promotional strafe. That means label owned the rights and the likeness to the artist who did Set It Off. Y'all want this party started right? Set it off, I said, So we did the female version after I finished with that in 85. And then they had me do the lead voice on that.
Yeah. Cool.
Yeah, so
Oh,
yeah,
what
85.
the story. I think it's nice when you kind of just fall into something, like, instead of going like, this is where I need to go and trying to get there, but kind of meandering your way and having different experiences is really
not knowing the rules of the game, because there's invisible rules and things like that, and just moving in the path that the Most High was opening, like as if I'm walking and the doors are opening with no one behind them. And I'm just being a part of different situations, and working with some amazing people like a Tommy Musso, Just Born Records, and choreographing for some artists, because I choreographed for Butch Quick, who did Higher on Strictly Rhythm.
Oh, okay.
And yes, and that's how I got introduced to Gladys Pizarro on Strictly Rhythm.
Okay.
And I guess she seen me or knew me before, because she said, I always wanted to work with you. I didn't know she knew me.
Right.
But I was a club promoter too. The Underground Network. We started that in 1992. And then we would showcase DJs and artists before we had Louis Vega as our resident DJ in, I want to say, the ending of 92. And when we moved to the Sound Factory Bar, where we were alternating DJs every week, we asked various DJs would they like to work with us as a resident, and he's the one that said yes.
Right. Oh, what a resident to have. It is amazing.
Back then he wasn't as big known.
Just starting.
It was 92, not just starting, but in the sector of where we were all black party. And but my partner, Don Welch, was a Billboard reporter, and Louis used to come to hear him. And I still didn't know Louis Vega. A lot of us did not know him.
Right.
Music people, I want to say, knew him working with La India and various freestyle type of music.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
he's coming out of that sector. So that's why the Black community really didn't really know him like that.
Right. Okay. Yeah, interesting. And that kind of leads me into my next question. Like you've worked with many, many icons. Who have been some of your favorites to collaborate with?
Definitely Louis Vega, but also Lulu Lewis. Because
Oh,
Louis
yeah,
Lewis, oh yes, we did Funny How You Love.
yeah.
I had not met him until the first show I did with him because I was coming off of the road, a tour with Delight. I was one of the background
Oh,
dancers. Yeah, we did
right.
The European and the Asian tour.
Yeah.
And so I was referred, I don't even know who referred me to him, but he was looking for some vocalists for his album, Little Lewis in the World. And I went in the studio and I didn't meet him. He was in a dark booth. So
Okay.
I'm learning, I'm just singing a song. I'm just singing a song with a dimly lit room.
Yeah.
And it's okay, thank you. Next time I get a call and he wants me to come in and sing this song. And again, he's still in a dark lit, dark booth. And I walk into the room. It's a music stand, the lyrics on the stand. And it was Funny How You Love.
Right. Oh, lovely. What a great story.
Yeah. And then when I met him, as I said, we were doing a show at an amusement park called Coney Great Adventure. And
Yeah.
that day we had to meet there, the singers, and that's when I met him.
Right. Okay. When he came out of the dark into the
Yes.
light. Yes.
One of my favorite people to this day.
Oh, great story. And have you had any kind of unexpected connections that have ended up being something quite sort of special in the studio or in any other kind of element of your career?
Definitely. I was doing my Precious Love days, doing my gigs, and a French manager, one of Matthias Colombo, he says, Saron wants to meet you and wants to put you in his song to sing my song. I didn't know I was supposed to just sing my song and leave. I stayed in the whole set in what is that? One of the conferences over in France,
Yeah.
and he was impressed by that. And then for maybe 10 years, I was his lead vocalist for his
Right.
show. And then pandemic hit,
Yeah.
and then he just was, that separated us. He's
Yeah.
doing a lot of DJing, less with the band, the live performances, and he's doing wonderful.
Yeah. Yeah.
It was special to me that I'm able to be with the king of disco. Are you kidding me?
Yeah. Oh, I bet. I bet it was magic. Yes, definitely. And is there anybody that you haven't had an opportunity to work with that you would want to, that's kind of on your radar?
Wow, I've worked with a lot of people, like David Guetta was on his first album. Right?
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
I didn't realize.
It's Barbara Tucker Paris, or one of the other songs was Give Me Something. So this was his first album before
Yeah.
everything,
Yeah.
I work with a lot of the other producers. They've remixed some of my stuff. They've remixed,
Yeah.
but I don't necessarily was in the studio with them. I always wanted to work with Bob Sinclair. I like his Disco Week.
Oh, yes. That would be a great pairing.
I work with Eric Murillo. He was amazing. He's so hype. And right before he passed away, there was a song I was working with Mauro Ferrucci and Chami V, and he wanted to pick. Actually, he picked up the song that we did, Nellis on Armada, but he picked up the song, and he was on his way back to Ibiza. He was like, "Next week I'm going back to Ibiza. I'm gonna work on this track and such, and it's called Follow Me." And I was like, "Oh my goodness, he's getting ready to rip this track up," and then he had the incident and he passed away. But working with him was always exciting because he had a lot of energy when we worked, so that was powerful.
Yeah.
I work with some amazing producers, whether they be in Italy, the UK, all around.
Yeah, yeah. No, you've done many things. But yeah, I think Bob Sinclair is probably my favorite producer, like from for many, 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 many years. I love his stuff. And yeah, I think that would be like a partnership made in heaven.
It could be. I also
pray
wanted
to
to
the
work
gods.
with another producer I wanted to work with is Black Coffee, because I think we could do something really nice.
Yeah.
Especially with just doing the ammo piano. I have a lot of emotion, so I think my emotions on one of his tracks, and it could be
That would be very special. Very special.
yeah.
Great. So yeah, like looking back over your career, I'm sure you've had some very sort of crazy and wild moments and experiences over the years. Is there anything that's kind of funny that happened that sticks out in your mind? Any comical moments?
I'm sure there is. I can't even think of anything right now. I really cannot think of anything of comical, me tripping, falling, me singing and my pants falls off or anything. I don't have things like that because I attack what I do in such a, I'm not embarrassed by me tripping and falling.
Yeah. You just get on with it.
But I must say, no, there is one that just showed up. See how the spirit will say, nope, this right here. So I was performing for some of our, who was it, Charles Jackson oh my goodness, some of the in the gay community, their party was three of them. I can't remember the other two right now, but I could see Kevin or Saunderson, James Saunderson, and there's the other one, Kevin something. And so I was singing, and they had all these wires on the floor. And then I tripped, and I fell, and quickly my body, it's almost as if I was looking down at myself. Did you really just fall? But I popped up so quick, they thought it was a movement. They thought, because I'm a dancer.
You made something out of it.
But I was standing outside. I felt like I was outside of my body saying, did you just fall? Because I've never fallen on the stage. So I just fall.
But you made it into something.
Popping up. Yeah, well, that's the thing about the dancer. Our trips can be intentional.
Yes, definitely. I think you see quite a lot of that at the moment with some of the dancers where they do that kind of intentional fall to the ground and then they bang straight back up again. Quite dramatic.
Yeah.
And any performances that stick out as being like, really unforgettable for you?
There's a couple. Because you can't be here 40 years and nothing sticks out for you.
Yeah.
Definitely when I performed with Sarone and massive crowds. It was, I forgot, there's this conference that they were doing in Spain. There's a conference in Spain and we were invited to perform. Yeah. So he had 2 gigs. So we're here doing this performance. Next thing we're running to get on in the helicopter. But I kept beeping because it was a private airport because I had so much jewelry on. And I was like there in the helicopter was waiting for me, trying to get all of this up. And then we were a little late. So then we get there and we kind of landed in the middle of where the party was and running to the stage. I had on my flat boots and I was so hyped. Me and Mark was so hyped. Again, it was a beautiful moment. Also, just we were doing something for Laudel.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
And he was hired to do it, and he had me and he had Martha Wash. And
Right.
so I'm singing with Martha Wash. And so we were doing his stuff, but then we were doing her stuff, and I was the background, singing background for her. And it was an amazing opportunity to be with one of our legendary queens.
Yeah.
Another thing that stood out for me, Louis Vega wanted to do a remake. And it was a Stevie Wonder remake called Love Having You Around. And me and Rochelle Fleming always wanted to do something because being a club promoter, I've booked her before. And she said to me, I want to do something with you. And we finally got the opportunity, and it was beautiful. It was beautiful to be able to be in generations that I looked up to and listened to, and I'm recording with them. So that's something for the history books.
Yeah.
I've just worked with so many people, even working with Herbie Hancock, with George Clinton and Bootsy Collins in the studio after coming off the tour with Delight, and we're recording. And this was funny because everybody knows that they get open what they do, but I don't smoke, I don't drink, and all this.
Yeah.
So I'm in this studio talking, doing this, and then he says to me, George Clinton, is the smoke bother you? Well, and then he said, look, this is your session too. We'll put it out. I thought that was really interesting. He said, you so little to have so much funk up in you, because I love funk music anyway. There's just so many great opportunities that I had. I worked with Wyclef Jean on a project with choirs. I've worked with him also doing a theater production at the Red Zone. It was called 12 Nights. It was a hip hop musical based on 12 Nights. 12 Nights, and they flipped it called the 12 Nights, and I called Club 12, and my character was Olivia.
Right.
So and then later on they brought it back, and Lauryn Hill played Olivia because they took it to LA, recast it, and all of this stuff. So again, there's a lot of things that I've done that I'm excited about doing it and stuff. And even the gospel world, working with Edward Hawkins of the Hawkins family, being on a program, singing with their choir. I mean, I'm 19 years old with Legends of Gospel. I'm like, wow, I get excited doing Top of the Pops. Come on now.
Oh gosh, that's an iconic show.
And I was like, wow, they're saying my name with their British accent. I was so excited, like a little girl. When she was like, Barbara Tucker, I was like, oh, that's me. They called me. Oh my God, I'm just so
I will
silly.
have definitely been watching that show. That was Thursday night every week. Yeah.
One time, 3 times.
Yeah.
It was amazing to do. Beautiful people stop playing and jazz it up with Real to Real.
Yeah, cool. That's some great memories. Great memories.
90s house period was popping. I was everywhere. I didn't know where I lived that time because sometimes I'm here 3 weeks, 1 month, and all of this, and I'm just moving with it, the flow. But I don't kind of know what happened to it. I really don't, because if the labels are not there to support and put their funds behind the marketing and the pushing of songs. Now you just have people just dropping tracks, but there's no promotion around it. There's a million artists, DJ producers. How do you find them? So then we have people sticking to the same people, no matter what they put out. They're just there. And that's not a bad thing. But then again, how are we going to hear the new music or what's going on? How do you hear the new music?
No, there's a lot of noise out there as well that you need to try and cut through to get heard, definitely.
Hey.
So yeah, I mean, you've been like a guiding force in house music for so long, and touching on the topic that we just mentioned there, like advice would you give to aspiring artists, and especially those that might have a bit of self-doubt as well? Anything that you can, any sort of little gems of inspiration?
My book comes in, and my book will be out officially on June 14th, and I'll be
Okay.
doing a book signing in New York, Balancing Your Way Through the Music Industry. It's a lot of nuggets in there, some
Yeah.
stories, some testimonies, some experiences, and a lot of inspiration because it sometimes many people don't know why they like to sing or why they like to do music, why they're attracted to music. And it's again something that the Most High, placed in you, seated in you. You came to this earth, this realm, to sing, to do music, to create music that blesses the world.
Yeah.
And I think once they realize why the music was given to them, then they can now choose to serve music, to represent music, to be the best of their ability. If you couldn't speak to people to say you're powerful, you're strong, you're beautiful, then how do you get it out to the masses through a song?
Yeah.
Because we need this inspiration in this earth, in this world. There's a lot of negativity, but because you got your yin and your yang, you're up and you're down, you have this. What side are you on of
Yeah.
creativity? And I'm here to sing songs to touch, move, and inspire people. But I'm also here to help as one who has been, they've said I've helped pave the way for some people. I'm here to help guide you.
Yeah.
As a coach and as a mentor. So this leads into my mentorship program that I have for artists.
Yeah.
And I work with mixed masters in Ibiza.
Oh, I was on their very first
First
course.
one?
I did. It was I did a 12-month course with them. So it'd be about 5 years ago. It was remote. And yeah, every month we had to do a track for a different label, and it was like Glasgow Underground, and
Hot.
yeah, it
So
was
I'm a
amazing.
part of, I think I'm the first artist to be a part of it who for the singer-songwriter project, and I do a program, the relationship between the singer and the producer.
Right. Okay. Cool. Yeah.
So May 4th, I'll be on Ibiza Island. We'll go
Yep.
back to Ibiza, and we'll be doing a week of program for the singer-songwriter.
Right. Great. Yeah. No, it's such a great program. Like I learned so much from doing that, and met some great people and connections. Yeah.
We don't do that in New York, America. See, look, I love my peoples,
Yeah. Yeah.
but what's to give back?
Yeah.
Where's to give?
Yeah.
It can't just always be about buy my song, come to my party, buy my T-shirt. Where's to give back to the next generation?
Definitely. Definitely. Yeah. No, I think that's really important. I think to be able to provide something back to the world and not just take.
Yeah.
I mean, you've touched on loads of things there that you've still got coming up. So your book and the mentoring and the mix masters. What is it that keeps you sort of motivated at the moment? Like, how do you just keep going?
My assignment from the Most High. I know my purpose. I know why I came to the earth.
Yeah, yeah,
An assignment. We're all on assignment, but some people just don't know their assignment. I understand it.
yeah, yeah. I think
Heavens have declared it.
it can take a while to find your purpose as well. Like, sometimes
There are clues in it. There are clues. Remember, I'm talking about I didn't want to be a singer, but all these type of creative doors kept opening to me.
yes, yeah,
And I was naturally able to do them. I didn't go to school to learn how to act. I didn't go to school to learn how to sing.
yeah, yeah,
But it was the seed is in me.
yeah,
That's my assignment. And I was just on platforms. They would just say, "Come on and do this. Come on and do this." And I wasn't scared of the stage.
yes,
I choreographed my shows. I designed my outfit. I felt like one of the little rascals. Remember this? The
oh
little,
gosh, yeah,
"Yeah, let's do a show. Yeah, everybody, come on, let's try to put this together."
Yeah.
I'm growing up taking paper towels and taking my doll's outfits off and creating my own outfits on the doll.
Yeah,
Making
yeah,
up songs and always writing poetry. So the clue is in what you do,
yeah,
what's coming naturally to do.
definitely. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, that's
So
good
people,
advice.
yeah,
And
they have to pay attention to not just that in themselves, but if you have children, watch them from a
yeah,
distance and watch. If you have a child that's always singing and making up songs and I and whatever,
yeah,
there's that creator, that artist, the
yeah.
artist sees in
And
them.
I used to do that, like looking back when I was a kid, I'd put, the music on and I'd perform for my parents and stuff, but never sort of really thought that that's what I would end up doing
See?
later in life. So yeah, you're right. The signs are there early on, I think.
Minds are there. And parents who are maybe prophetic have vision and eye for the giftings and for assignments, they will see that in their child. They
Yeah,
will see.
yeah,
My child, all they do is read, read, read. They're in the corner. Look, they're 4 years old. Just always in books. What is that telling you about this person who always wants to learn, who can maybe be a doctor, inquisitive about Earth, who might be a scientist, who are always looking up at the stars and looks at it. Maybe they're astrologers or something. So
yeah.
the signs are
The
there.
signs
We
are
just
there.
don't recognize.
Yeah, yeah. No, very true. And if you could go back and give your younger self one piece of advice, what would it be?
Oh my goodness. This is the question that I usually tell people I don't like to go back and say because I might not have done it.
Yeah, true, true.
I
Yeah,
might not have done it if I could see or to see things that I've gone through because there are tears. There
yeah,
was drama.
yeah,
What do you mean I got to do this? I don't, who are these people trying to touch you in the studio? Why can't people just let you sing and be without it having to be them trying to, flirt with you and all? Everybody don't want to be flirting in the studio. I'm here to create. Let's have fun.
yeah,
There are things. What do you mean I don't get, wait, but I did that. You're trying to take my writers or look, you learn after a while that you will get the lesson. It's got to come because we all fall down, but we get up. Meaning, sometimes we don't know the schooling of the business of music, and that's where I'm coming in at.
yeah,
We don't always know. Don't believe the hype. Oh, you're queen. You're beautiful. You're this or that. What is this you're trying to get from me? Everybody, you're telling everybody they're the queen.
yeah,
I never said I was the queen of house music. People started calling me that,
yeah,
and I remember Cassio Ware, artist from Jersey, he said, you might as well accept, he said this years ago, you might as well accept it. You're the queen. Look at you. You sing, you choreograph, you're dancing, you're doing parties, you're here. And I do promotional parties for artists. I put artists together. I write for artists. I stage artists. I do a party in Miami, the Winter Music Conference.
Oh,
We're
yeah.
back party called "And Let the Singer Be Heard," whereas I can put maybe up to 15 artists I've had on the stage with my resident DJs at that time was Todd Terry, DJ Spin, Terry Hunter, and my resident DJ for B Star is DJ Q. So I've always been that one who's like, what do you mean? I gotta sing now? I forget that I'm a singer too because I'm presenting platforms for other people,
Yeah.
promoting parties with Don Welch that we're going on. What do we got? 30 something years now of doing this. That again, we created a Wednesday night for artists and labels to showcase their talent and the music.
Right.
So, yeah. But it'll all be in the book.
Yeah,
So
looking forward to getting that.
yourself, like I said, I don't know if I want to go back, and if I would have maybe wanted to be. I wouldn't mind being a music business lawyer because I want to help people.
Yeah, yeah, minefield.
We got to learn the lesson. It's
Yeah.
just not creative side. You have to be balanced.
Yes.
You have to know
Yeah.
the creativity with yourself, but you have to know the business so that you come to the table knowing as they know, because they're not going to tell you.
No,
They're
definitely.
not going to tell you. They're
Yeah,
not going to teach you.
yeah, yeah. Yeah, no, that would be a good
So
skill to
nobody
have.
taught me. I learned through experience of some things, and as I said, there are times you have your tears because you're human, and I'm a
Yeah.
Pisces, so I'm like, well, why they do that? Why can't we just all get along? Why can't we?
Okay.
Why is it not
You're talking to
fair?
a Pisces. I hear you. I hear
Get
you.
out of here!
Yeah.
Oh my goodness!
Oh,
So, but we learned, and it made us stronger.
yes.
And it
Yeah.
makes us want to stand up and fight for one another,
Yes.
even if we don't want to do it or whatever. And I stay humble.
Yeah.
I, you must stay humble. You can't act like I'm this and I'm the number one and I'm the and I have and because you go up and you come down.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah.
We're blessed. I'm grateful to the Most High that I'm still here,
Yeah.
able to.
Yeah.
You know, I'm this woman from New York, Brooklyn, New York, who I came to Ibiza in 2011, and I have been there with a residency every year since. I
Yeah.
don't know any other artist who's there.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then it wasn't so much of the event saying, no, you already work over here, so we're not going to hire you. One year I was doing Glitterbox, Blue Marlin, my own party called We Are All House, and then working at Teatro Pereira singing with the band.
Right.
People were still hiring me on the island.
Yeah. No, that's good. I think you see a lot of they're my DJ kind of talk where that makes the DJ very limited to where they can play and who they can play for. And I think that's quite sad. You should be able
Activity type situations.
Yeah.
And my thing was if I'm not being paid to be exclusive, because look, I
Yeah.
was paying rent in Ibiza still and paying rent at home.
Yeah.
So it's got to work. It's got to make sense.
Definitely.
And
Yeah.
then shows are different,
Yeah.
Whereas you do a Blue Marlin, you could sing anything. You can even sing top 40s. You sing with a band, same thing. You can sing top 40s. You can sing ballads. You sing with Defected or Glitter. You're singing in the frame of, what do you call it, of the songs that they're associated with. Because remember, I was with Strictly, and Strictly was brought up by Defected at one time.
Yeah.
So I get to sing the Strictly songs, but I get to sing Precious Love, which was on Defected. But then also I was doing Children of the 80s. So I was doing 80s
I saw
songs.
you in that a couple of years ago. Yeah.
I'm still there.
Yeah.
So I'm able to maneuver in different characters of song.
Yeah. Yeah. No, that's good. And so you can offer something different at different venues, and it's not the same thing, repetitive.
Not the same, purposely. That's what happens when you're a choreographer and you're a stylist and you're theater.
Yeah.
When you're doing a lot of theater type things, so you're in characters.
Yeah. No, that's cool. So I've just got a quick fire round of questions that I'm going to throw at you just to get a little bit more to know you a
Be
little
off balance. And
Yeah.
I can't lie. Nell, I got to just
Not
say,
lie.
what comes
Yeah.
to your head. Yeah?
Okay.
First thought.
So, favorite song you've ever recorded?
Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Oh, Head Up High.
Okay. When was that? What year was that?
You didn't even hear this song was done 3 years ago.
Right.
This
Okay.
is oh my goodness, Jason Hurd.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Yeah.
The first version is on his record label, and the second version is going to be on my label. I'm serious. I really love this song. It makes me cry because I wrote it during the pandemic, and I wrote it really about Eric Murillo,
Right.
his death.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
how it affects you when you know somebody, when you love them as your brother. And I can't. The thing about it is, you cannot stay in a hole, in a corner, because your friend or somebody died. You have to keep on the path and keep your head up high, hands to the sky. Faith is on high. I survived. I'm not turning back, and I'm not going back. I got to keep it moving. I have to send it to you.
Please do. I would love to hear it. Craziest fan experience?
A lot of them are scared of me, so they're not going
I
to do
bet I can imagine.
even. Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah. Oh, here we go. See how the spirit brings it back. I was on the Strictly Rhythm tour in Germany. The Marble sponsored it, and I was singing, and this guy grabbed my behind, and I said, "Okay." Da-da-da-da. And I'm still trying to sing. DJ Pierre, Omar Van Helden, someone else was there, and some singers. And then he did it one last time. He did it one more time. It was the last. I took the mic and I clunked him on the head, and all you hear is clunk. Boy, you know how it is when you hit a mic or
Yeah,
something.
yeah,
I said, "Don't you ever touch me again." That was
yeah,
the first and only time somebody touched my butt
yeah,
on stage.
yeah. Oh, well, hopefully you got what he deserved. What's a dream festival that you would like to play at?
Oh my goodness. Oh Lord have mercy. I want to do one of those festivals that I'm able to bring my band. I'm able to bring my singers.
Yeah,
It's I would love to do something in Africa with that. I think someone should go back and let's bring a classic and let's do the classics. And actually, my vision as a promoter myself is to do a diva tour. I
right.
think
Yeah,
that's what I want to do,
yeah,
not separately on the tour. I want to get four other divas, get a band with them, some
yeah,
nice dancers in costume, and we're singing our stuff live.
yeah.
That's my dream.
That would be
That's
amazing.
my dream. To have the background singers for all of us.
Yeah,
Woo!
yeah.
Woo!
That
That's
would be
it.
awesome.
Yeah.
Excellent. Okay, go to karaoke song.
A karaoke song, and it's funny. I mean, when I do karaoke, I'll do something like
Oh, yeah,
car wash, and always a go to of Dinah Ross sometimes,
yeah.
anything Shaka and anything Whitney Houston.
Mm.
So it's just not one. And but one time we went someplace in Brooklyn. It was like a bar that you do. Korean barbecue,
Oh, yeah.
and I saw one of my songs in the correct. Everybody dance, not beautiful people.
Okay.
Everybody, I'm like, whoa, that's my song. Everybody dance. Oh my goodness.
That's fun. Okay, and last quick fire question. One word to describe your career.
One word that describes it. I hear the word magical in my ear.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
hear magical because it's things that I didn't know that popped, that happened, that appeared, that was excited. Sometimes I've been in situations that I've cried on stage. So
yeah.
it's really magical to me of this experience that God, you chose me to do this. So, I want to say magical.
I think that is the perfect word. Definitely. I mean, this has been amazing. I've absolutely loved listening to you talk about, your experiences and your career, and there's some real special moments there. And I think you've kind of touched on some projects that you've got coming up. So your book is coming out in June,
Book,
and
album, the EP. I'm really working on this EP. I
yeah,
cut it down. I was going to do an album, but I said no, that might be too much for people. So
right,
I'll do EPs. I got enough music forever. I got so many wonderful people that I've worked with from Chicago to LA. Oh my goodness.
yeah, no, excellent.
So
So
many.
still lots of exciting stuff to keep an
Yes.
eye out for.
As God gives me breath, I'm still here, still
Yeah.
able to create. As the fans and the people will have me, I'm humbly here to bring forth some musics that are just full of life.
Yeah, yeah. No, that is amazing. And where can people kind of follow you to keep in touch with what you're doing? I think like Instagram, I know you're on Facebook.
Things, definitely Facebook. I'm not so much of a TikTok person, but I am working.
I can't bring myself to do it. I don't know why. I just,
It's too much stuff happening.
yeah,
I'm here and I'm here. I don't need to be everywhere. I can't.
Yeah.
If you want me to be authentic about it, but I am working on my podcast, so get ready for
Oh,
that.
okay, cool. Yeah.
Yeah.
Excellent, excellent. Well, thank you so much for sharing your story, your words of wisdom
For
and
inviting me.
inspiration. It has been an absolute pleasure. My first ever guest on my brand new YouTube channel. And so, yeah, I'm feeling very humbled to have you on here and can't wait to see you in Ibiza this year. Like,
Yes,
hopefully, we
yes,
can
yes,
catch up again
yes.
there.
Fleur just hit me up today where she
Ah,
was
cool.
something over at Obi
Yeah, yeah, no, that'd be great.
together now.
Awesome.
And then we pray we'll be in Australia soon.
Yes, yeah, no, that would definitely be amazing.
Well, I can't wait because I have close friends out there, and I
Yeah,
just Australia, especially when it's cold here and it's hot there. I
that's the
love
good thing.
that.
Yeah.
And I go to the zoo. I'll always go to the zoo. I don't care how many times. The last time I was there, no, that wasn't the last. I did the Ministry of Sound tour. That
Oh,
was
yeah.
amazing.
Yeah.
5 city tour. But before that, I got to see the penguins when they first came out to,
Ah, okay.
yeah.
Yeah.
Have you seen the penguins yet?
Yes, I have. Like, I don't live too far from Taronga Zoo. So yeah, it's just, and my kids went to school in Mossman, which is like, just down the road from the zoo. So we've been a few times. New Year's Eve there is amazing. Like the view that you get across the city and the bridge and stuff is phenomenal. It's definitely a really good spot to go for New Year's Eve. Yeah.
Wow.
Great. Well, we can wrap up there. And yeah, thank you again for doing this. Really appreciate it and hope to speak to you very soon.
Same here. Peace and love.
Barbara,
Okay.
thank you.